All right. My name is Trey McCullough, but you guys should already know that by now. But what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be laying down kind of the rep life cycle and then all the steps that you guys and all the skills that you guys will need for your guys' branch offices. So it's going to be kind of the intro video and kind of an overview of everything that we are going to be going over before you guys run your branch office. So first video is going to be about the rep life cycle. And for the next couple of videos, this is what we're going to do a deep dive into for each section of the rep life cycle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over the 7 to 10 steps of the rep life cycle. And then every single week, we're just going to deep dive into each section for the next 10, 15 weeks before you guys open up your guys' branch offices. I know some of you guys are away at school. Some of you guys, this may be hearing double of this, but it's okay. I just want to make sure that we have it documented and here for you guys. So the first step in our rep life cycle is them hearing about the job and setting them up for an interview. So whether you got recommended to the job through another friend, saw a social media post, got a letter in the mail, applied on Craigslist, whatever it might be. It's just getting the names and numbers of people who are interested in the job. At this point, it is going to be our job to call them and set them up for an interview. We call this process Blitz. So what Blitz is when you hop on Zoom and you call PRs or set people up for interviews. That is Blitz. Now, this part is super important because this is the first impression that you will make on any of your reps, any and all reps hearing about the job. So it's going to be a super important part of the process. And this is the very first impression. So if you guys leave a bad first impression, they're probably not going to show up to the interview. But the whole point of this section is to make sure that they have a good time and date for their interview to set them up for that interview process. They'll lead us into the second step of the rep life cycle, which is the actual interview itself and the post-screen interview and setting them up for training. In the interview, they'll learn about the how representatives get started, how the pay works, and how the schedules work. And then from there, it's your job to either accept or decline someone for the job and set them up for training. And set them up for training the right way and make sure that they have all the information that they need so that they can be set up for training and so we can set them up for training. And we want a good show to training as well. Next is going to be the confirmation call. This will be number 3, is the confirmation call. Now, the confirmation call is supposed to, the main purpose of that, without diving in too deep, is to make sure that we pop all the fear bubbles for training. And this is going to be our third point of contact, talking to the rep and just kind of getting them and popping them the fear bubbles of training. I know every single person, when they start with training, they're nervous about their names list, what to expect, who they're going to be training with, what the vibe of training is really going to look like. And so that is the whole point of the confirmation call, is just to kind of pop those fear bubbles and to make sure that they show to training day 1 and to day 2. That'll lead us into the 4th step of the rep life cycle, which is training day 1 and day 2. And this section, this will probably be a 2-part video or a 3-part, maybe in a 4-part video, because there's a lot to dive into when it comes to training representatives to be successful. But the whole point of training is to make sure that they have demos booked and that they hit their first promotion and that they have confidence in themselves, confidence in what they're doing, and then confidence in you as a trainer. So that's kind of the overarching goals of training. The next event, which is going to be the 5th event, which is going to be the day 4 PC. The day 4 PC is after you've gone through both days of training, you've done a couple demos before their advanced training 1, to schedule a one-on-one and to schedule a PC with them. And this is for the relationship building portion. It's very easy to quit a job. It's very hard to quit a person. So this is where you establish relationship, connection, build rapport, that will lead to long-term retention. Then we have advanced training 1 and 2. These are very important events. And the way that I always frame advanced training 1 and 2 to our reps is that this is going to be the solution to all of their problems. If they don't have a good names list, we'll talk about it. If they're not getting recommendations, we'll talk about it. If they're not closing, we'll talk about it. If they're struggling with making phone calls, we'll talk about it. And it gets talked about in our advanced training 1 and 2 process. So making sure that they showed it AT1 and 2 is going to be so key and so important into their development as a rep. Another way to think about it is training is what we do and how we do it. So what do? We do the demo, we do presentations, we sell Cutco. And then how do we do that? By doing demos, setting people up, building our names list, stuff like that. So that's what we go over in training. It's the what and the how. Advanced training 1 and 2 is more of the why. Why did we do it this way? Why do we say this instead of this? Why should you focus on getting to 10K? Why should you call that person you're a little too scared to give a call to? So that's going to be advanced training 1 and 2. The 6th step, or the 7th step, whatever step we're on, is going to be team meeting. Now, throughout the process so far, the only interactions that they've really had is with you and then the people that they've gone through their training class with. Those are the only people that they've really seen. Now, team meetings can be super important because this is where they get to be a part of something bigger and greater than themselves, and they get to see the other people, the other system managers, the people that went through training last week. This is where they get to really dive into the team culture and the team atmosphere of this job, which is going to be super key and super important as well. And then the next step is so step number 8, I think we're on, is going to be making sure that they hit their $10,000 promotion. Now getting to 10K, getting into Dirty 30 is going to be the biggest needle mover in your business, and just be promoting the absolute crap out of this. The more people that go after 10K and the more people that hit 10K, the more likely you are to have them stick around for a long time. And those people that hit 10K, they're going to be your future branch managers, your future district managers, your future CSPs. And then the bonus tip is going to be advancement and advancement opportunity, kind of tying the bow on the rep life cycle, getting people on key staff, assistant manager, district manager, branch manager, CSP, whatever it might be, kind of talking them and walking them through that advancement process is going to be super key and super important. So what we're going to do for the rest of kind of this training series is we're going to be diving deep into each one of these sections. My goal is to get these videos to about 20 to 30 minute long on each. Some may be longer, like training day 1 and day 2. Those are really long kind of things to explain. There's also going to be ones that are a little bit shorter, like the day 4 PC. That will be a little bit shorter. The confirmation call will be a little bit shorter. There's going to be some other things that I put more emphasis on and other things that I don't put as much emphasis on. But that is kind of going to be the agenda for our branch recruiting session, and our not branch recruiting, but our branch management, branch training. So I'm going to put these videos out on a weekly basis for you guys as well. So I hope you guys learned a little bit more about the rep life cycle and kind of what to expect from our management training.